Coming up next, let's talk about some thrilling in your relationship.
All right.
If you're with your partner and you have like one level of sexual desire, and then they got like that level, where do you meet in the middle and how can you? Our marriage and sex therapist expert,
Leslie Gustafson.
in studio next with her husband, matter of fact.
Yep, Doug's here.
They'll tell us how it's done. Hey, welcome back. We were joking yesterday that I have sex every time Halley's Comet comes around.
Yes, that's about it. That's about it.
And then I got a bunch of text messages. You're in trouble because
Halley's Comet's coming over. It was. Just the tail of it was passing by.
A lot of couples that are together have the issue of you may want it more frequently, they may not.
Right.
Sexual differences in sexual desire, actually a very common problem in marriages.
Thank God. I'm normal. But here's the thing. How can both partners meet in the middle so that you can have a happy sex life? What we did is we brought in our sex and marriage therapist, Leslie Gustafson, and she brought her husband, Doug, with her. So we got the yin and the yang.
Yes, the yin and the yang.
Yes.
This is very common.
It's every couple.
It's every
No couple wants to have sex at the same time all of the time.
Agreed. Because we're on different schedules. Some of us are at night, morning, yes.
And there's
Doug,
higher,
is it
lower.
typically, I mean, the cliche would be, okay, it's that the guy wants it all the time, and the wife says, not tonight, I have a headache.
Cliche, stereotype, there's some truth in it. Because men usually are more aware of their sexual desire. They want it more frequently. And so they bring that into the relationship. And some of that is because, for good reasons, it's not only biology, but some of it is because men, we get in touch with our feelings, our softer side, our heart, through sex. Yes, we do.
What?
We do.
There are no feelings involved when you guys have sex.
During and after, there may be.
Okay.
So men go into marriage thinking, you know, dating into marriage thinking that, hey, I've hit the jackpot. It could be every night. But then it turns into the kind of the lottery.
Yes.
You know, if we're going to win the lottery tonight, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of confusion about that for men. They don't know what the deal is. They don't understand women.
Right.
Anger, resentment builds, desire differences create challenges. And so you brought in your sex and marriage therapist expert, Leslie, to talk about women. So,
And women are certainly more complicated.
Right.
It is not just we walk around wanting to have sex all of the time. It's more
emotional.
back burnered, and so many other things need to be, you know, it feels like the stars need to be lined up for the guy, but in truth, their context matters. How is our relationship doing? Where are my hormones at? So it is not just a straight line to, I feel like having sex, let's have sex.
Right.
Finding that you even want sex is often the challenge for women. Now, saying that, we're also more erotic. So once women can find erratic and erotic, but once women kind of, you know, inhabit themselves as a sexual being and they get there, it can be very rich and very erotic. Women are very deep feeling.
True.
But we can lose sight of sexuality in a heartbeat. You know, we're kind of the wind. The guy's kind of the boat trolling around, always fishing, looking for when it's going to happen.
Right.
And we are more complicated than that.
Here's my question then. I mean, I think it's great to acknowledge these differences in the makeup. How do you find a bridge? Do you have to compromise? Do you have to say, okay, fine, 3 times a week? Or does that take the thrill out of it?
Well, I think there's growth for a man and growth for a woman in this. When you think of men, for example, and how to bridge this gap, because it needs to be bridged.
Right.
For men, we need to understand women. But we also need to understand that for us, if our sexuality and our desire can be embedded in connection and intimacy, rather than lust and fantasy and all the things we see in the movies, if it can be embedded in that connection and developing a deep bond with our spouse, then we hit the jackpot more often. We start to develop the relationship more. We can become more attentive to the things that matter to a spouse, and it makes a huge difference to us and to them.
And women, their area of growth is one, to not be dissing and minimizing the fact that their guy is wanting sex all the time. Sometimes we don't see that as having real meaning. We just think it's just about sex. It's not about me. It's just need. And we just make it what it isn't really. It's very much love for men and a way for them to connect. As much as we need to emotionally connect, it's similar. We value that, right?
Acknowledge
and so we
it.
need to value that.
This is just the starting point of the conversation, because it really is. I mean, we could talk about this all hour. I think it's fascinating. And actually, let's continue the conversation, because you connect with both Doug and Leslie at their website, which is authenticandtrue.com. All kinds of great resources there. Also on Facebook and Twitter, they're active day and night. Great to see you.